In Friday's Emmerdale episode, Wolf met with a therapist named Lucy and started discussing the traumatic ordeal he experienced at Celia Daniels' farm. Since making his way back to the village, Bear has found it difficult to fully accept that the treatment he endured was abusive. The intense manipulation and cruelty he faced convinced him that Celia was assisting vulnerable individuals and that Ray was someone he could trust as a friend. Paddy Kirk has made repeated attempts to help his father recognize the truth about his suffering, but recently he came to understand that professional counseling was necessary for Bear to truly recover. Charles Anderson arranged for Lucy to come to the village. Having survived exploitation herself, she understood precisely how to handle Bear with sensitivity. She carefully encouraged him to view Ray as the villain he truly was, though progress proved challenging. Bear was frequently tormented by hallucinations of Ray, which complicated matters. Whenever Lucy spoke honestly about the situation, Ray would appear in Bear's imagination and contradict her words. A turning point came when Bear spoke about his friend and fellow captive, Anya, who died after Celia and Ray neglected to provide the medication she desperately needed. As he described Anya's tragic death, Bear gradually began to realize that Ray had never been his ally. Everything shifted when Lucy described Bear as a good person. Crushed by the burden of hiding his deadly secret, he broke down and admitted that he had killed the man who imprisoned him for months. The episode concluded with a devastated Paddy watching his father being placed in a police car. The much-loved character has already faced immense hardship, and unfortunately, more trouble lies ahead. Referring to Ray's death as poetic justice, actor Joshua Richards recently spoke about the next stage of Bear's storyline, which begins with questioning by D.S. Walsh. This sparks another moral conflict, he explained. The nightmare isn't over, it continues. Hinting at upcoming developments, Joshua added that the police officer is especially relentless, determined not only to solve the case, but also to implicate as many individuals as possible. He suggested her focus stretches widely, targeting Moira, Kane, Paddy, Dylan, and Bear alike. She's not after just one person, he said. She wants them all. D.S. Walsh ultimately charges Bear with manslaughter. Joshua explained that Bear feels he must answer for what he has done. In his mind, taking a life is still taking a life, even if it happened in self-defense, Joshua said. He was on the brink of a breakdown and barely in his right mind, but he still believes he deserves to face punishment. Joshua continued, he has a flawed sense of honor and feels compelled to confess, even though he wasn't fully aware of his actions at the time. It's an old-school belief. I did it, so I must accept the consequences. It may be misguided, but he genuinely sees it as the honorable path. Cocky Joe gives Kim his word in Emmerdale as their merciless scheme intensifies. This week on the ITV soap, Graham Foster discovers that Joe Tate is juggling two very different versions of himself. One side of Joe is the man eager to settle down. He's happily involved with Dawn Taylor and is making a genuine effort to bond with her children, Clemmy, Lucas and Evan. Having never experienced a warm, supportive family growing up, Joe is surprised by how much he values this new sense of belonging and fears losing it. The other side reflects his ruthless Tate heritage. Joe has already managed to secure the Sugden land and is now equally determined to take control of Butler's farm. After seeing Joe interact kindly with Clemmy, Graham questions why he is so intent on tearing apart Moira Dingle's life when it risks corrupting the softer, more reasonable version of himself that has recently emerged. However, Graham's concerns fall on deaf ears. For Joe, wealth guides his decisions, and the lure of greater profit can quickly bring out his darker traits. Earlier in the week, Kim Tate warned Joe to ease off. She advised him to stop pushing for butlers, as she didn't want to worsen Moira's already fragile situation. But when Joe sets his sights on something, a little empathy isn't enough to stand in his way. In upcoming scenes, Kane Dingle returns from visiting the prison and is stunned to find Joe sitting comfortably on his sofa. Furious, Kane grabs him by the collar in an attempt to throw him out, but Matty Barton intervenes, revealing he was the one who allowed Joe inside. Matty pleads with Kane to stop clashing with everyone and instead concentrate on being there for his wife. The confrontation pushes Kane close to the edge, while Joe is left feeling even more self-satisfied. Later at Home Farm, Joe confidently tells Kim that Moira's land will soon belong to them. The question is he right? His tactics for acquiring the property are methods neither Kim nor Graham fully approve of. It's unusual for the pair to see eye to eye, yet they both share doubts this time. The real issue is whether they'll step in to stop Joe or stand back and allow him to destroy Moira's life completely. Emmerdale favourite Lisa Riley has opened up about her future on the long-running ITV soap, following her recent stint on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and she's made it clear where her loyalty lies. Riley, who is best known for playing the bold and bubbly Mandy Dingle, is preparing to return to screens next week after taking a short break from filming. While her time away sparked speculation among fans, the actress has now reassured viewers that she isn't going anywhere anytime soon. In fact, Mandy's comeback to the Dales promises plenty of drama from the moment she arrives. Lisa first took on the role of Mandy back in 1995, becoming one of the show's most colourful and beloved characters. After appearing in the latest series of I'm a Celebrity last November, she quickly found herself inundated with new television opportunities. Her lively personality and talent for impressions made her a standout in the jungle, opening the door to fresh project offers. Speaking to The Sun, Riley admitted she had received some very flattering proposals, including TV work similar to the impression performances she showcased in Australia. She also hinted at potentially collaborating again with a fellow campmate, affectionately nicknamed Gingy. However, she stressed that any outside ventures would need to fit around her Emmerdale schedule. Despite the tempting offers, Lisa confirmed that her heart firmly remains with the soap. She revealed she has signed a new one-year contract and emphasized that she never takes her position on the show for granted. Riley explained that as long as the producers want her, she is more than happy to stay, making it clear that Emmerdale continues to be her top priority. Mandy's return storyline certainly won't ease her back in gently. When she arrives in the village, she's immediately confronted by police officers in the wake of her father-in-law Bear's arrest for the murder of Ray Walters. The situation spirals further when Paddy is also taken in for questioning, leaving Dylan and Marlon to explain the shocking events that unfolded during her absence. Teasing what's ahead, Riley said Mandy has definitely not been brought back quietly. Once she discovers that Paddy has been keeping major secrets, her protective instincts are triggered. Stepping firmly into mum mode, Mandy becomes determined to support both her husband and teenager Dylan, whom she considers like a son. According to Lisa, Mandy will go to extreme lengths to defend the people she loves, even if it involves telling a few lies. Fiercely loyal and proud to be a Dingle, she's ready to fight for her family no matter the consequences. Emmerdale airs on ITV1 on weeknights at 8 p.m. and is also available to stream on ITVX.